back, everybody. We are here on the Now Morning Show, and it's Father's Friday, we calling it here. And we're going to be chatting with the Honourable Symon de Nobriga, the Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with the responsibility of communications. We're going to find out from him, what it means to be a father, because he is, and we're going to find out so many other things as well. Good morning, Honourable Minister.
Morning, Gary. How are you, brother?
Good. Can't complain. I was just telling Ronkus earlier, I finally got over my side effects of the vaccine because it had me down for a few days, but I'm still confident that I made the right choice.
That's great, and it's great to hear. And it's great to hear. It's good to hear influencers like yourself talking about the reality of it. Yes, there are side effects. I had it. I did a video of my first shot. I just took my second shot on Monday, and little aches and pains, fatigue. Was what I had. A friend of mine told me it feels like Ash Wednesday without the alcohol.
Without the 2 days of revelry before.
Correct. Without the memories.
That's a good reason to put it.
I could. So we're talking Father's Day this weekend. And Minister, what does it mean to you to be a father?
So listen, without getting too emotional, but fatherhood to me is my greatest and it's my most humbling achievement. There is nothing that compares to seeing your children go through different phases of their life, good and bad. My father always told me that he can't wait for me to have children just like me, right? And of course, true to form, I've been blessed with 2 children just like me. I have a 14-year-old daughter and I have an 11-year-old son, almost 10, just turned 11. And it is strange, I still remember them fitting in that space between your wrist and your elbow. So of course to see them growing into these amazing human beings, and knowing that you have input in that, it really is humbling. Of course you get to see all your sins come back to haunt you in front of you, but that's another conversation for off air.
But as you mentioned your dad, what are some of the things you would have learned from your dad, growing up through the years, and that you find yourself applying as a father to your children now?
So Carrie, listen, I think parenting changes through the years. Of course, I would have come from a generation that fathers in particular parented you in a way that fathers don't parent anymore. It's a lot more. As you get older, you understand the value of communication actually with your kids and having an open dialogue with them. But I can tell you that my father and my grandfather are the standard by which I judge myself as a man. Forget everything as a man. That voice that everybody has in their head that tells you if something is right or if it's wrong, what you're doing. That voice is my father's voice. So there's no single lesson. There is. I was thinking about it before coming on, in case someone asked you all asked me about, what lesson have I learned? I cannot tell you any single thing. My father is the standard by which I judge myself as a man. He has set a tone for me, on principle, how you carry yourself. Those are the things that I judge myself by. And that is in and out of the public sphere, just my own judgment of what a man is supposed to be. That image is my father.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what are some of the characteristics that you think make up that man that you talk about? Because people judge that standard of man by different standards, and you're saying that your dad is your standard of man. But I kind of want us to break down some characteristics of that man, that ideal man.
Strength of character, boy. I think my father, very, very black or white, is right or wrong. Um, but just strength of character. Right is like your cup brokers.
Yeah, cheers.
I think that he knew what correct behavior was, and he always held to that. And he always held to that regardless of what the repercussions were. He always held to what the correct thing to do would be, regardless of what other people would have thought. Um, I also think just his personality as well. He and my grandfather, very, I suppose, larger than life personalities. And that has always sort of been my, again, the way you interact with people, the respect you have for people. I don't know about Ruckus. It is such a difficult question when everything sort of revolves around that standard. So to tell you one characteristic, it is literally everything from the way he carried himself, the way he stood, the way he spoke, everything. Everything is that.
No, but I think you definitely defined it there and saying, sticking to your guns. If you know something is right, you stick to it. I think that's very difficult. Difficult for a lot of men in society now is that we get swayed very easily by public opinion sometimes, or by friends, or by peer pressure. It's part of the struggle of manhood and becoming a man. Oftentimes we find that men are swayed so easily. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Minister, what would you say is one of the most interesting challenges about fatherhood? I mean, there's no blueprint. Everybody knows there's no exact right way. It's not an exact science, you know what I mean? But what do you find is one of the things that is not something that is difficult, but something that you found is a challenge that you could meet?
I think you actually said it right there, Carrie. It is understanding that there is no blueprint. For those of us who have more than one child, is understanding that it's not cookie cutter, that your children have different personalities, and even though you see yourself in them, and you may see the same traits of yourself in them, but their experiences will be different. The way that you get through to them in terms of teaching those lessons that you want to teach as a parent, as a father, it is difficult. Understanding that obviously being a father to a daughter and a father to a son, those things are also present their own challenges. I think the biggest thing is also not leading with your own ego. Not trying to live your life through your children, not trying to live the life you want to have through your children. I think that a lot of that happens with fathers and their sons in particular. And I think that is the biggest challenge. Sometimes stepping back from the position, as a dad, trying to create this absolute perfect life for your children, allowing them to make mistakes, because good decisions are typically born out of bad decisions. You learn, experience is born out of bad decisions.
Yeah.
And that experience leads to making good decisions. So I think that is the biggest challenge, not letting your own ego run ahead of you, allowing your children to grow and to blossom in a space and understanding that your job is to prepare them to make the best decisions in life and not necessarily make those decisions for them.
Mm-hmm.
Just guide them along the way.
Mm-hmm. Minister, how do you balance that work portfolio that you have with fatherhood? Because I imagine you being an MP, you being a minister, it's going to be a lot of work. And then fatherhood on its own is a lot of work. How do you balance the two?
I want to tell you, I'm still learning. That is an ongoing process. It's I had some sort of an audition for it. I mean, I was a dad while I was a counselor. Obviously, I was a dad being chairman of the Diego Martin National Corporation. But nothing prepares you for the level of service and commitment to service that I find myself in now. It is challenging, like I told you coming before we were on here. I got home after curfew yesterday because I had to have a virtual meeting in my office. We have very strict rules in terms of what is bedtime in this house. And so I got home literally just in time to go through my little short routine with my children, because I also think that balance and routine is important, you know. So it is difficult because unlike other jobs, you know, there is no weekend, there is no after work. You just don't have those things. It is the life you sign up for, and unfortunately, I suppose to a certain extent for my children, they also got signed up into it. You know, you are the children of a public figure, and you do have to share that time. I suppose it's just about ensuring that your children know exactly how much you love them. It's about ensuring that your children know in that space where, in those gaps where you may be pulled away, that physically you may be there, you may be somewhere else, but your heart is constantly with them, you know. So I think that is key. But it is an ongoing process for us. So
Yeah,
I know. Let's talk maybe 6 months from now, and I'll tell you, right?
Very true, very true. Minister, that is all they gave us time for with you this morning. But I do want to wish you an early happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, sir.
So listen, before you go, I want to tell you, you have Mikey Sparrow coming on. That's Diego Martin Central claiming him. You have Second Star coming on, you and Fatima claiming him. You have Valentino. His son Figs is my real partner from since I was a teenager, so I'm claiming him too. Right, guys, I want to please let me just take time to wish my own dad a happy Father's Day. Wish my brother happy Father's Day. Wish my colleagues happy Father's Day. Wish the Prime Minister happy Father's Day. And obviously wish everyone you viewing and listening public, all the fathers out there, continue to be strong dads. You know, don't be too hard on yourself. We know it's a challenging time. You know, be there for your kids. Keep talking to your kids. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And happy Father's Day again to you.
All right, guys. Happy Father's Day.
All right.
Take care. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Minister.